Oh, good morning. My name is Ed Borysiewicz, building official with the City of Key Colony Beach. And this is the calm day after the storm. I rode out the storm on 12th Street in Key Colony Beach, and there was a minimum of 4 feet of water over the center line of the road, which is the equivalent of an 8 or 9 foot storm surge in the center of the island. And if you pan around this area, we're on the ocean front of Key Colony Beach, and they had the 8 foot storm surge plus, then they had waves on top of that. Spoke to a gentleman that rode out the storm in one of the 3-story condos here. He said there were 12 to 18 foot waves that pounded our coast. If you look behind me, you'll see just total destruction. The waves pounded on these buildings until it went through the front wall. Then it continued going through the interior walls till it got to the other side. All the docks and piers are gone along the ocean, and many docks are gone along the canal side. We had one home that burnt to the ground completely. We'll show you that a little later, but that was due to a car parked in a carport, and the electronics started to smolder, and then it ignited, and then it blew up a propane tank. And the fire department came out, did the best they could, but there was just no saving the house. They were just protecting the houses around it and did a great job. It's hard to describe what happened here, but we're so fortunate to have all our contractors. We had them pre-stage heavy equipment on the island in several different areas, and they've been working ever since the wind got down to 40 miles an hour. They've been clearing the streets for the last few days, piling up the debris on the right-of-ways, and now we're staging it to separate areas in the city for a massive pickup later on. They're working all over the island. We meet every morning at 9 o'clock to give out duties of the day. The vice mayor has been in town through the host storm also. He's done a great job, and he's doing all the coordinating with the emergency operations center, trying to get all the communications out the best we can. We've been in the dark until last night. We don't know where the storm went, what happened to the rest of the world, because we were out of total communications. The only communications that we had was 104.1 FM radio that did a great job, that went through the storm with everyone that stayed here. When we were all hunkered down, they're the only one that stayed on the line and gave us information. If you just look around us here, you can see what we're trying to clean up. We're doing the best that we can. We've shut off all the water meters in the city. We've shut off all the electrical disconnects in the city. So when power and water is turned back on, we'll try to stop the leaks and the short circuits and the fires. Several houses have burnt down in Marathon already when things were energized due to the shorts in the house, so we're trying not to let that happen here. And we received water pressure, I think it was the day before yesterday, and now we have very good water pressure. It's so wonderful to take a cold shower. It's just so refreshing because we haven't been able to do anything for a few days. Just look around. I'll leave it to you to see what's happened here, and I'll try to take you around the city to a few other locations to show you what's going on. And thank you. Yeah, these gentlemen are FEMA contractors. They're going door to door and noting the damage, and also knocking on the doors and make sure no one's in there that needs help. But we've had, to the best of our knowledge, less than 100 people stayed behind, and they're all accounted for, and we've had no injuries that I'm aware of, except little injuries from cleaning up after the storm. But here we'll be pulling up to where we did have a large issue. Right now we're on 12th Street. Again, the storm surge here, I can personally tell you it was over 4 feet above the center line that we're driving down now. And the winds were tremendous. I was in a solid concrete structure with a concrete roof, and I didn't feel safe there. I was in a middle bathroom, just covered with pillows and blankets.
Yeah, if you want to just say any words while I'm recording.
Yeah, this is where we believe the fire started. The car received storm water damage, and somehow the electronics created a fire, and there was a propane tank right next to it, and the propane tank blew up, and then the house burnt to the ground. And that's something we have to watch out for in the future. That's why we shut off all the electric meters. So when we ever do get power energized again, we don't have short circuits in the homes, which will create a fire. That's happened a few times in Marathon already since the storm. This is just a sample of some of our shoreline destruction. These were Miami-Dade impact shutters. These were regular glass, but protected by impact shutters. But the wave action, there's just no stopping a powerful wave, and the wave just went through the outside wall and kept going through the inside walls. I mean, these units are all need 100% renovation and remodeling. Here we are on East Ocean Drive again. We're at Havana Jack's, Glunt's Ocean Beach Club. This entire resort was just renovated about 2 years ago, and now it's destroyed. If you can get a picture up this way a little bit, this was the outside bar, and now the roof's collapsed, and the bar, we don't even know where the bar went. And then there's the oceanfront pier. They have the piling left, but the pier is gone. And here's the interior of the structure. This was all created by wave damage that was on top of the storm surge. We're standing here, we probably had 6 or 8 feet of water above our heads when that storm hit at the peak. And we had 160 mile an hour winds verified by a meteorologist on 8th Street, and then his instrument was broken. So we had 160 plus. If you pan towards the east, you'll just see where those waves pounded and pounded until it took everything away. Here we are along the oceanfront portion of Key Colony Beach on East Ocean Drive, and you can see the destruction. Right where I am now, this is a seawall cap that was just constructed and poured about 4 months ago, and it's gone. This is original concrete work from the 1960s. That's all gone. I mean, these are huge pieces of concrete that have just been moved, and the concrete cap's destroyed. I don't know if you can see right over here, this was part of the new retaining wall that was just built a few months ago. The slab's gone. All that's left is the rebar that was connected to it. Here's the seawall. Now that I mention it, here's the cap of the seawall. Then if we keep going this way, all those piling you see along the ocean, those were piers and docks. And the only thing left of those are some of the piling. The docks are totally gone, and we'll be cleaning them up somewhere on the island when we find them. But this is the typical oceanfront of Key Colony Beach. But we've been here before, and we'll be back again. This is Sunset Park. This is where people come to watch the sunset every night. And it was a beautiful pier, beautiful sand, beautiful landscaping. But right now you see we have a little bit of work to do. We've been through this before, we'll get through this now, and Sunset Park will be beautiful in just a couple of months from now. And with that, thank you for listening. You've seen what has happened here, so please prepare and be prepared if this ever happens to you in the future. And very important, when they say evacuate, please evacuate, but keep in mind that we'll be here to rebuild. Well, thank you very much.